You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play.
The options market can be a confusing place. Sorting through the daily avalanche of data, alerts, updates, articles, and analysis to find the most important information is an overwhelming prospect. But now you have help. Welcome to the Options News Rundown, the only program that breaks through the noise to bring you the most important news and information from the world of options. Every day, we bring you the top 5 option stories curated by the options experts at theoptionsinsider.com, the premier source for options information. The Options News Rundown is brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in options trading education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free 1-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's Live Advantage Group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider. And now it's time to break through the noise. It's time for your Options News Rundown.
Good morning. Today is Thursday, June 27th, 2019. This is your Options News Rundown. I'm Dan Passarelli. Our first story today is from investing.com. It's the top 5 things to know in the market on Thursday. The first thing to know is US and China are said to tentatively agree on a trade truce. Reports surfaced Thursday that Washington and Beijing have tentatively agreed on a truce in the ongoing trade conflict ahead of the G20 summit. The South China Morning Post said that the agreement would put a hold on Trump's pending round of additional tariffs on Chinese goods. Trump suggested on Wednesday that a deal was possible, although he remained prepared to spread tariffs to all China's imports to the U.S. The White House confirmed that Trump and Xi would have a bilateral meeting on Saturday morning in Japan. In a separate tariff conflict, Trump tweeted that India's tariff hike on U.S. goods was unacceptable and must be withdrawn. India took action after the U.S. refused to exempt it from new U.S. tariffs on steel and aluminum imports. The second thing to know today is global stocks rise on Sino-U.S. trade hopes. Global stocks moved higher across the board on Thursday as hopes for a potential truce in the U.S.-China trade conflict revived risk appetite. Elsewhere, the more optimistic outlook set European equities on track to break a 4-day losing streak. The Pan-European Stoxx 600 rose 0.3%. In Asia, China's Shanghai Composite ended 0.7% higher, while Japan's Nikkei gained 1.2%. Third thing to know is data and earnings may provide market direction. A major dump of U.S. data is due later that would add fresh fuel to the debate of whether and when and by how much the Federal Reserve may cut interest rates this year. Chairman Jeremy Powell indicated earlier this week that the Fed is still in a wait-and-see mode. The third estimate of first quarter gross domestic product will be released at 8:30 a.m. Eastern and is expected to show no change from the 3.1% reported earlier. At the same time, weekly jobless claims will provide information on the strength of the U.S. labor market, while May pending home sales is at 10 a.m. Eastern, and it will shed light on the state of the housing market. Outside of the States, Germany will report its latest inflation numbers at 8 a.m. Eastern. The European Central Bank President Mario Draghi has said that further stimulus will be needed if inflation doesn't pick up. Earlier, Spain, the Eurozone's 4th largest economy, reported a surprising drop in inflation this month. On the U.S. earnings front, a negative report from Rite Aid will contrast with better than expected numbers from KB Home in Thursday's trading. Ahead of the opening bell, Walgreens Boots Alliance was in focus, while Nike takes the spotlight after the close. Fourth thing to know today, Boeing's new setback is to drag on the Dow. Shares in Boeing slid more than 1% in pre-market trade as the company suffered yet another setback with its grounded 737 MAX. The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration identified late Wednesday a new risk that Boeing will have to fix before the model can return to service. The FAA announcement makes it unlikely that Boeing will be able to conduct a certification test flight as planned on July 8th. As such, the chance of it returning to service before Labor Day is receding. The fifth thing to know today is oil prices give back some gains ahead of Russian-Saudi meeting. Oil prices headed lower, giving back some of the strong gains made on Wednesday as a key meeting between Russian and Saudi leaders at the G20 approached. President Vladimir Putin and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman will likely discuss oil output strategy ahead of the July 1st and 2nd meetings, reviewing the current production cut agreement between OPEC and the other major exporters. U.S. crude oil futures fell 31 cents, or 0.5% to $59.07 by 5:38 Eastern, while Brent traded down 39 cents, or 0.6% to $65.30. Oil prices surged more than 2% on Wednesday after weekly government data showed U.S. crude inventories fell by the largest amount since 2016. Our second story today is from Reuters.com. The Russell remake and the G20 leave Wall Street primed for blowout volume. U.S. equity markets are set up for a blast of volume on Friday as investors prepare for news on the U.S.-China trade dispute from the G20 group meeting and the annual reconstitution of the Russell indexes, traditionally one of the largest trading days of the year. The rebalance of the Russell indexes happens each year and becomes final on the fourth Friday in June. Stocks are added or deleted from the Russell's family of indexes, including the Russell 1000, RUI Large Cap, and Russell 2000 Small Cap, prompting fund managers to adjust portfolios to reflect new weightings. This telegraphed adjustment increases demand for buying and selling stocks, resulting in additional trading volume, which crests right before the market close on the fourth Friday. This year's rebalance happens to coincide with the G20 meeting in Osaka, Japan, that will be highlighted by a meeting on Saturday with U.S. President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping, putting investors on alert for any signs of a thaw or further breakdown in trade relations between the world's two largest economies. And our final story of the day is from investing.com. Bitcoin slides 12%, ending a recent surge. Bitcoin's price skidded 12% lower on Thursday to around $11,383 after hitting an 18-month high of nearly $14,000 earlier this week. The world's biggest cryptocurrency has surged in value since April and has risen more than 260%, although it remains below its all-time high of nearly $20,000 hit in December of 2017. Analysts say Facebook's announcement that it would offer its own cryptocurrency, Libra, has revived interest in digital currencies while investors seeking safety have also pushed up Bitcoin's price. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is news you can use for today, June 27th, 2019. Your Options News Rundown. I'm Dan Passarelli. Trade smart and have a great day.
The Options News Rundown is brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in options trading education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free one-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's Live Advantage Group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider.
The preceding program was a production of the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play. Don't forget to follow along with your favorite programs and submit your own questions for the hosts at twitter.com/options, facebook.com/theoptionsinsider, or via questions@theoptionsinsider.com.